Hi, today we're going to make tomato and pepper sauce. You'll need a large saucepan, various bowls and dishes, a chopping board and a wooden spoon. And to finish it off you'll need some freezer containers. These are cheap as chips. You can buy these in pound shops for £6 for a pound. Or if you haven't got any of those, something like this, a 250 gram margarine tub. That's just as good, and that would hold 2 portions. So we've started off with 30 mils of cooking oil. I've got that on a low light. I've got 2 finely chopped fat cloves of garlic here, which I'm going to add to the pan and cook gently for a few seconds. Meanwhile, I've got 550 grams of peppers. I'm going to show you how I prepare those. You need to get rid of all the seeds and the white pith, which will spoil your cooking, so you need to get rid of those. So cut round the top, pull that part out. Where these indentations are, that's where the skin will be inside. So if you cut round near to those, that's the easiest way to get rid of all the bits you don't want. So what we do, we cut away all this white part, tap to get rid of the seeds. Cut down there, like that, again tap. Discard the seeds. Cut it into bite-sized pieces. Always do it from the inside of the pepper, because it's much tougher to cut it the other way. If you've got children in the family or people who say they don't like peppers, you can cut them up really finely so that they don't know what they're eating. But we quite like ours chunky. So that's the pepper. Put it with the rest. This is the onion. Let's peel the onion. If you can see there, in the centre of the onion, some yellowy bits. But we need to get rid of those. This is what I call quality control. These are growing points. You don't want those in your dish because they don't taste nice. So just pull them out, chop the onion. So now 550 grams of onions, 550 grams of peppers into the pan with the garlic. Turn down the heat as low as it will go and cover the pan with a lid. So we want these onions and peppers to sweat and simmer in their own juices for about 10 minutes to soften. So meanwhile, we're going to prepare the tinned tomatoes. I've got 4 tins of plum tomatoes here. I'll show you what I do with these. The quality control tip here is to get rid of any stalks or skin that remain on the tomatoes. If you buy chopped tomatoes, you can't do this because it's all cut up finely together. So what I always do is take out the stalk, cut it off and chop the tomato roughly with a knife. Any tomato skins that get into your recipe will end up tasting like matchsticks in your mouth if you get them in your mouth. It's just not worth risking that. If you're going to cook, you need to pay attention to these details because you want there's some skin. Look, can you see that? We don't want that in there, nor that, and nor that stalk. If you're going to cook, you want your food to be the best it can be. So these little quality control steps are important. Make sure there's no black bits or stray skin to spoil your recipe. Plus the fact that plum tomatoes are much cheaper than chopped up tomatoes, so you're saving money as well. Each portion of this recipe will be 115 calories and 2 grams of fat. Each portion will weigh 200 grams roughly, which works out that this sauce has just got 1% fat. But it's absolutely delicious. I use it for pasta, rice, tuna pasta bake, stuffed peppers, and lasagnas, all kinds of things. If you've got one of these, which is a stick blender or a liquidizer, you can puree the whole thing till it's smooth, and then you can use it again in your pastas or as a topping for pizza. And that way your children or your family will not know what vegetables are in there. It just tastes like a delicious tomato sauce. So it's well worth the effort. Those are still softening. The cost of this recipe works out at about 30p a portion, and it has got 5 vegetables in it when it's finished. You've got your tomatoes, your peppers, your onions, and later on I add peas and sweet corn, which my family like. If you want to add other vegetables you can do, such as courgettes, mushrooms. I would say add them at a later stage and do fry them off a little bit first in some oil just to brown them. So next time I see you, we'll be adding the tomatoes and the seasoning. This is salt and pepper ready to go in the sauce. So when these peppers are softened, I'll see you then.